Ever wondered what makes the US and Australia, two big countries with deep European ties, so alike, yet so surprisingly different? They both speak English, love democracy, and share a lot of common values. But behind those similarities lies a fascinating story of unique cultures, lifestyles, and worldviews. Let's dive in and explore. You might just be surprised by how much there is to uncover. Americans seem to love Aussies' Fort Air accent, their laid-back vibe, and yes, they're kangaroos. But Aussies, they're not as keen, even though their governments are close allies. Aussies are known for being super friendly. Don't be surprised if someone waves at you with a big g'day or starts chatting just because. Need directions? They'll probably give you the full tour. It's that casual, genuine warmth that makes you feel instantly welcome. Americans are friendly too and always happy to help, but they value their personal space a bit more. Conversations are usually polite and to the point, not unfriendly, just a bit more reserved. In Australia, it's all about staying cool and comfy. Think shorts, tees, and flip-flops. Oh wait, Aussies call them thongs. Perfect for their sunny, laid-back lifestyle, right? They're not trying to impress. They dress for practicality, and somehow that simple style just works. Now, in the US, it's a whole different vibe. Even casual outings can feel like a fashion statement. You'll see everything from sleek business outfits to bold streetwear. For Americans, clothes aren't just about covering up. They're a way to express themselves and show off the country's incredible diversity. Head to Australia. You'll see people are always on the move. Surfing, swimming, playing sports. It's like second nature. With amazing beaches and tons of outdoor space, being active is part of the Aussie lifestyle. They even joke if you're not in the water, you're on the field. Things are a bit different in the US. While lots of Americans are into fitness, there's also the fast food, huge portions and busy schedules to contend with. It's a big contrast to Australia's active outdoor culture. A US road trip feels like a connected adventure. Highways weave through countless towns, offering diners, motels, and quirky attractions at every turn. From LA to New York, the stops are just as exciting as the journey itself. Now imagine a road trip in Australia. Driving from Perth to Brisbane, you're in for a completely different experience. Think endless stretches of open road with nothing but red dirt, kangaroos hopping alongside, and the occasional roadhouse where you can refuel and grab a bite. It's about disconnecting from the hustle and embracing the raw beauty of the outback. Car insurance in Australia, easy peasy. It's all about the car, not the driver. If the car's insured, anyone can hop in and take it for a spin. Borrowing a friend's car? No problem. Just grab the keys and go. In the US, it's a whole different story. Insurance is linked to the driver, so everyone needs their own policy or the car owner has to add them to theirs. For visitors, it can be a bit of a hassle. In America, it's all about standing out. From a young age, kids are taught to dream big, be unique, and chase their own paths. Success is personal, and being exceptional, that's the goal. It's a culture that says loud and clear, shine as bright as you can. In Australia, though, things are a bit different. Ever heard of the tall poppy syndrome? It's this idea that if you stand out too much, you'll get quietly cut down to size. Aussies value equality over fame and believe in giving everyone a fair go. It's less about being a star and more about being part of the team. Aussies are brutally honest. If your idea's not great, they'll just tell you straight up, mate, that's rubbish. No sugarcoating, no beating around the bush. Sure, it might sting a bit, but at least you know where you stand. Americans, though, they've got a way of letting you down easy. You'll probably hear something like, that's an interesting idea. Let's explore some other options. It's polite, it's diplomatic, and it's their way of saying, maybe try again. Different styles, but both get the message across. American humour is all about being big and bold. Stand-up comedians hype themselves up and jokes are crafted to grab attention and make you laugh out loud. It's like saying, hey, look how clever I am. Aussies, though, keep it simple and subtle. Their jokes are dry, often poking fun at themselves. The punchline, it's usually them. It's the kind of humour that makes you smile without trying too hard. Aussies have this thing for shortening words. Breakfast, that's brekkie. Afternoon, it's arvo. And even a gas station gets a fun twist. They call it a servo. It's like their whole language got a chill, laid-back makeover. Shorter, quirkier, and totally Aussie. Americans, though, they mostly stick to full words. Sure, they've got slang, but abbreviations, not really their style. Conversations are more straight to the point, less about quirky cuts, more about getting the message across. Everything seems bigger in America. Houses are huge, cars are massive, and don't even get me started on the food. A large soda in the US could be a small in Australia, and restaurant portions, enough to feed a small army. Even everyday things come in supersized packages. Need painkillers? In the US, you buy enough to last a year. In Australia, just enough to get you through the week. In the US, customer service is like a performance. Smiles, endless options, and 24-hour stores make you feel like royalty, even at midnight. Fun fact, Boris Yeltsin once visited an American supermarket and was floored by the sheer variety of canned goods. In Australia, it's all about practicality. No red carpets here. If the store's closing, you'll hear, "We're shutting soon, mate, and you'd better grab what you need." In Australia, shopping is a daily affair. Aussies pick up just enough fresh produce and ingredients to last a day or two. Simple, sustainable, and all about keeping it fresh. In the US, shopping feels like prepping for a blizzard. Bulk buying reigns supreme, with carts piled high and freezers overflowing. It's less about today, more about being ready for anything. Australia, it's simple. Forget your reusable bag and you'll be paying for plastic. Aussies take waste reduction seriously, and their checkout rules prove it. In the US, it's a patchwork. In some states, plastic bags are free and plentiful. In others, they're banned or come with a fee. Where you shop determines the rules. In Australia, mornings are the main event. Surfers catch waves and dawn, flat whites flow in cafes, and tradies are hard at work before the sun gets too high. But by 9 p.m, most neighbourhoods are so quiet, you'd think everyone's in bed. Meanwhile, in the US, the night's just getting started. Midnight diners, late grocery runs, and 24-hour gyms keep the action going, especially in buzzing cities like New York and LA. The US is the undisputed king of media. From Hollywood blockbusters to Netflix binges, CNN updates to Disney magic, It's a global powerhouse that defines trends and influences millions daily. Australia, it plays a quieter tune. With fewer resources and a more traditional approach, its media struggles to compete in a world ruled by streaming giants and blockbuster budgets. Religion is a big deal in the US. From going to church to cultural traditions, faith influences everyday life and even politics. It goes all the way back to the early settlers who came seeking religious freedom. Australia has a different story. As a former penal colony, early Aussies were focused on survival, not spirituality. These days, religion is more of a personal choice. It's there if you need it, but for most Aussies, it's not a major focus. In the US, a low-skilled job can feel like you're stuck on a treadmill. Minimum wages in many states barely cover the basics, so workers often juggle multiple shifts just to get by. It's exhausting. There's hardly any time left for rest, let alone living. But in Australia, it's a much brighter picture. They've got one of the highest minimum wages in the world, so even entry-level jobs can give you a decent quality of life. You work one job, pay your bills, and still have time for the beach or a barbie with friends. It's all about fair pay for fair work, making balance and living well a priority. In the US, owning a home is still a realistic dream for many. An average salary gets you a mortgage and maybe even a shiny new car in the driveway. With home prices around 4 times the average income, it's challenging but achievable. In Australia, though, it's a whole different story. Houses cost a jaw-dropping 8 times the average salary, making home ownership feel more like a fantasy. For many Aussies, the great Australian dream is just that, a dream. In the US, launching a startup feels like jumping into a well-oiled machine. A culture that cheers for risk takers and a system designed to fuel innovation. It's no wonder giants like Tesla, Google, and Amazon call America home. Silicon Valley isn't just a place. It's a mindset that turns wild ideas into world-changing realities. In Australia, it's a slower burn. The spotlight shines on industries like mining, banking, and telecom, leaving entrepreneurship in the shadows. Government support tilts towards sports subsidies rather than nurturing startups. A company like Tesla, it had hit a wall down under where innovation often takes a backseat to tradition. In Australia, higher education is built on accessibility. Almost all universities are publicly funded, and the best-ranked ones, also public, proving government support can deliver world-class education. In the US, it's a different game. Most universities are privately funded, with the Ivy League and other top schools thriving on massive endowments and sky-high tuition. It's a system driven by exclusivity and prestige, where private money shapes academic excellence. Australia's wildlife gets a lot of hype. Deadly spiders, venomous snakes, crocodiles lurking in the water. It sounds terrifying, right? But here's a twist. Fatal animal attacks are rare. Aussies know how to coexist with their wild neighbours, combining caution with a healthy respect for nature. In the US, the dangers take a different shape. Bears, mountain lions, and wolves prowl the wilderness, and fatal encounters happen more often. In Australia, kangaroos and emus aren't just national icons. They're dinner. Kangaroo steaks and emu sausages, might sound exotic, but they're seen as sustainable and uniquely Aussie. It's not just food, it's practicality wrapped in tradition. Now, imagine Americans doing the same with the bald eagle. Impossible, right? The eagle is sacred, rare, and fiercely protected. But here's the twist. Kangaroos are so abundant in Australia that eating them makes sense. If bald eagles were as common, who knows? In Australia, coffee isn't just a drink, it's a craft. Whether it's a flat white or a long black, every cup is brewed to perfection, with baristas treating it like an art form. Walk into an Aussie cafe, and it's all about quality, flavour, and a deep appreciation for the ritual. In the US, coffee is a different beast. It's all about speed and size. Drip coffee, instant blends, and giant cups fuel the on-the-go lifestyle. Need caffeine fast? America delivers. Big cups? No fuss, and straight to the point. In the US, BBQ is an art form. Slow-cooked ribs, tender brisket, and sauces that inspire passionate debates. Every detail is a labour of love. It's less about the meal and more about the mastery. In Australia, BBQs are the opposite of fancy. Toss some sausages or seafood on the grill, crack open a beer, and you're done. It's simple, unpretentious, and all about enjoying the moment. One's a culinary showpiece, the other's a backyard tradition. Both delicious, just served with a different kind of flair. The US went all in for independence, fighting a revolutionary war and boldly breaking away to build a nation of self-rule. Australia, no dramatic battles or fiery speeches. They simply voted for unity, choosing a peaceful federal system while keeping ties to the British Crown. One rewrote history with rebellion, the other with a ballot box. Two paths, two stories, both leading to nationhood. In Australia, voting isn't just encouraged, it's mandatory. Miss the polls and you'll face a fine. It's like the government saying, no vote, no excuse, mate. This system ensures every voice is heard, no matter what. In the US, it's a different story. Voting is optional and turnout hinges on passion or convenience. No penalties for skipping, just a lot of maybe next time from the couch. Mandatory participation or laid-back freedom? Where do you stand? In Australia, patriotism is a quiet affair. No flag-waving parades or over-the-top celebrations here. It's like they're saying, we're proud, but let's not make a fuss. Maybe it's their history as a penal colony or the lack of a dramatic independence moment. Either way, Aussies keep it low-key. In the US, though, patriotism is anything but subtle. From fireworks lighting up the 4th of July to flags proudly displayed on every other porch, Americans wear their national pride like a badge of honour. With revolutionary roots and a bold break from British rule, their enthusiasm is loud, proud, and unapologetic. Australia takes a direct, if imperfect, approach to its history with Indigenous Australians. Land acknowledgements, cultural celebrations, and steps toward reconciliation show a nation trying to make amends. It's not flawless, but it's progress. In the US, recognizing Native American history feels patchy at best. Some communities highlight it through museums or events, but a unified national conversation? Almost non-existent. The darker chapters of displacement and mistreatment often stay tucked in the shadows, creating a noticeable gap in collective understanding. Australia approaches the world stage like a careful negotiator. focusing on diplomacy and trade. They prefer shaking hands over shaking things up. Their mantra? Build bridges, not flex muscles. It's all about cooperation and calm relationships. Meanwhile, the US enters like a heavyweight champion. Military power takes the lead, with diplomacy and trade playing supporting roles. Need influence? America often uses strength first and words later. Bold, assertive, and not afraid to make some noise. Australia and the US each have their own special magic. From breathtaking landscapes to lively cities and vibrant cultures, they both offer something truly unique. Their quirks and differences, that's what makes exploring them so fascinating. So, what surprised you the most about these two amazing places? Did it remind you of your own experiences or open your eyes to something new? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's keep the conversation going. If you enjoyed this journey, share it with someone who'd love to learn more too. Got an idea for what we should explore next? Let me know. Until then, see you soon for another exciting adventure.